Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to the live stream. I'm going to go ahead and throw out a quick disclaimer. It is raining where I'm at, and I'm in the country on a phone, so I don't know how the service is going to hold up. It was trying to pause and then restart whenever I was getting ready to go live, so I hurried and restarted my phone and cleared everything, so hopefully it'll go good. But I'll go ahead and get my regular thing out of the way. This is a family-friendly stream. Anything that shouldn't be should be deleted from the comments, and people are free to ask me any question they want, and I'll give my best answer, but that does not make it factual. So, this is just my opinion. Make sure anything I say, you do your own research, and yeah, other than that, glad to have you guys. Thanks to the people here. Thanks to the replay crew, everybody that watches the stream afterwards. I've been seeing a few views coming in after I stream, not a whole lot, but usually about the same amount that's here live as here afterwards. If you didn't know, I'm Keeper Kane. My name's Kane. This right here is Noodle, my pinstripe ball python. He's my co-host and the star of the show. As I say, usually this is really just his show, and I'm here for backup. So, what's going on, Crypt Keeper? Glad to have you in the stream here. Thanks for sharing the link here. This is a link to my local aquarium club, the East Tennessee Aquatic Association. Let's see, I got the shirt on here, ETAA. If you hadn't heard of us, you should check us out on Facebook. We're a cool little friendly local free club to join and come to meetings. We have a meeting every month, and like I said, it's free to attend. We usually have a bunch of giveaways, and yeah, it's a good time. Come talk fish with some buddies. Yeah. So yeah, oh yeah. I forgot you said you got me linked in on Fish Fam. Also, remember to throw on my fish or Tennessee Fish Mafia hat tonight. Hey to my wife. Thanks for coming to the stream, honey. Yeah, so we've got some exciting news as always. One thing, if you can't tell by the screen, my layout here is just a little different than it has been. So I was able to get back in touch with that lady, and she came and got the tanks yesterday, the 9 20-gallon rack, and got paid for that. So we can move on with some more projects. So I'm super excited about that. I'm trying to decide what I want to do first. Do I want to get a 125-gallon and upgrade the turtles and the goldfish? Or do I want to get a 60 breeder and upgrade my shellies, my electric blue car, and my guppies? So super excited. I'm glad to have that move. Glad that she got it and everything worked out with her. She had some complications that went on that she had to postpone our meeting, but she stayed in contact with me, and yeah, so I'm super excited about that. Oh, Crypt Keeper and my wife going back and forth about the puppy. Yeah, he's a handful. She's got to keep him at bay for 2 hours tonight, because we have this live stream that goes on for an hour, and then afterwards I'm going to be pre-recording an episode with a guy named GP Snakes. His name's Gershon. Really cool guy. He does a lot of live streams and shows with the people that's just getting started out, or some people that's already established. But he's known for always giving people a start and getting them going on YouTube. Now, I was already on YouTube before I had become in contact with him, but I was commenting on his show, and he offered to do an episode with me, and we've been booked out for a while. But yeah, tonight we're going to be able to get together and get that recorded. So hopefully I'll be able to share that link on my channel soon, and be some more content to check out. I'm always looking to go on other people's channels and, get some episodes in, get some streams in. See, Crypt Keepers asked, what kind of guppies do you have? Any that you are line breeding? No, so I would love to be like a true guppy nerd, because I love guppies. Like, some people are, you know, they really give guppies a hard time. There you go. Crypt Keeper shared Gershon's link. So go check out GP Snakes. It's a great channel. It is a ball python channel for all my fish friends, but Gershon is a really cool guy, and I'm sure you won't be disappointed. But yeah, my guppies, I love guppies. I love them. I know a lot of people give guppies a hard time because they're so common and blah, they're too easy, and which I think when you call anything too easy is just kind of silly. I'm like, the easy is a good thing. I heard Corey from Aquarium Co-op say it one time. He's like, having an easy fish is a great thing. He's like, people always want to say, I want a harder fish to take care of. And you only hear that with like fish. You don't hear that with regular things. His example was, people don't say, I want a harder dog to take care of. Like, no. That well-behaved dog, I don't want that. Give me something that's going to chew up my couch and crap on the floor every 10 minutes. I thought that was funny. But it is true. Anyway, off of that side rant, yeah, I love guppies. I love them. Problem is, I just don't think there's a market for trios in my area. You know, every market's different. Some people got plant markets, some people's live bears, some people with cichlids, so on and so forth. And mutt guppies sell really good in my area, but trios don't. So if trios sold really good, I probably wouldn't even sold that 20-gallon 9-rack. I probably would have just had 9 different types of guppies because I love guppies. But I just don't. I think if I breed, if I have 9 tanks dedicated to 9 different types of guppies, I'm going to be selling them as mutt guppies, and that's going to be a lot of tanks to keep up with. So I don't know. I don't think it's worth it right now. Maybe one day if I build my name up a little more and I can sell online. But yeah, I love guppies though. They're one of my favorites. They're really just a perfect fish. Crypt Keeper says, Kane, if you'd like to see a guinea pig, I have 3 different groups of guppies just started to breed out. Can send some your way. Never ship fish though. Oh, that would be awesome. I mean, I'm always down to get some fish. Panda guppy, Staic Inler guppy, probably butchered that name, and Tiger Inler guppy. Awesome. Hey, I mean, I'm always free to take some fish and some guppies and things, but I won't lie. If you send them to my house, they'll probably get quarantined and then thrown in the mutt tank because I just don't have a tank of their own to do. But like I've said before, I would like to get in some other lines of fish. I just can't. I just don't have the real estate or market to do, you know, just different lines of guppies. But I still love them. I always want to keep a guppy tank. So, but yeah, I'm super excited about that. We've hit 300 subscribers on the channel, which is exciting. And we talked previously in a stream about maybe doing a giveaway. And so me and my wife's talked about it, and we're definitely going to be doing a giveaway. It's not going to be immediate. I'm going to hold out for 500 subs. I know that kind of seems like a long ways off. When I'm at 300, I got to get 200 more. But, you know, that kind of gives me time to get the snakes bred, get them fed, see what I got. And hopefully by then I'll be built up to that. And, you know, hopefully it'll draw in some more subscribers as well. Not that I have a big enough channel that if I say I'm giving something away, people are going to fly in, but it can't hurt. And I just think that's a good marker because I don't think I can do a giveaway like every 100 subscribers or anything like that. So I don't want to do it on like an off number. But, you know, 500, 1,000 to 2,000, big marks like that, I would definitely like to do some kind of giveaway. So be looking out for an episode on that soon. I'm going to have to try to figure out how I want to do it. Because let's see, well, like I said, I live stream on my phone and I don't have wireless internet, because Comcast doesn't run out here and I'm not paying for satellite because it's junk. So I don't know how I would go about doing the giveaway because I know a lot of people do the random comment selector. And I would think you would have to have a laptop and internet to do all that. So I've still got some things to figure out before I make an official video announcing it. But it is something that I'm looking to get into very soon. Crypt Keeper says I've pronounced it the same way I've heard it pronounced before. That's how I say it too. Staic Inler. Hey, I usually doubt myself on pronunciations, but it seems like I've been doing pretty good here lately on those. Crip says you could do a giveaway in the form of a trivia session. Most points wins it. There is creative ways to go about it as well. That's not a bad thing to. That's not a bad suggestion. Then hopefully it would drive some, people that know would know, and then people that didn't would go back on videos and try to find out. So it's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. But then again, I don't have that many videos, which if somebody watches through all my videos, then hey, that would be awesome. I don't know if somebody would, but nonetheless, it wouldn't be impossible to do. So I wouldn't want to make it to where, everybody could be getting the answers. I don't know. I'll have to think on that. The thing is, though, for sure, we will be doing a giveaway. So I want to keep our eyes out for that. The disclaimer is if you were in the chat previous and you already know what's going to be gave away, hopefully people like that. But then if they don't, then they don't have to be in the giveaway. But that's something that I can give away that that I'm not going to have to buy, that I feel like is a good value. And yeah, oh, and to the ones that wasn't in the live stream, it'll be a free snake that I'll be giving away. So, like I said, some people might not be into keeping reptiles and feel like they're getting cheated out of the competition. They've kept up with my channel. To those people, I apologize. But for me, something that's going to be worth over, well over $100, and I produced in-house, and it just makes sense, for that to be the thing that I do give away. Crip says, could be any snake or aquatic info trivia. Pull some facts from your fish club page. Not a bad idea. I'm definitely going to have to do some consideration on it. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, though. Really looking forward to it. So, like I said, I'm really torn on what I want to do. To be honest, I want to go ahead and get a 125 gallon and give my turtles an upgrade. Because, oh, that's one thing I hadn't shared, which I hadn't shared in a video either, is we moved our other small turtle in with our bigger turtle, and they've been doing good. I keep looking back there at him, sorry. Yeah, he pecked around at him a little bit, but everything new that goes in that tank, he pecks around at a little bit. But earlier, I looked up there, and they were both basking together, so that was a pretty good sign. And then my friend surrendered a couple of goldfish to me to go in there with my other goldfish. So now we have 2 regular goldfish and 2 black regular goldfish. So they're kind of in dire need of an upgrade. You can see my turtle swimming back there. But that's not as exciting for the channel because, building a rack for a 30 or triple 30-gallon breeder would be is going to make some sweet content. That's going to make a good episode. How to build a fish rack. The title, I feel like, is going to draw in views, and it's going to be useful information because I feel like I have some light to shed on it. I've watched a lot of building style videos, and most of them don't break down some of the details for you, and then you leave the video kind of half knowing what you're doing. Like me, I have a good construction handyman type of mentality because I do construction for a living. So it's not too hard for me to figure stuff out. But I feel like for some people that don't, that would be more of a challenge. So I'm going to be able to break down how to figure measurements and just silly little things like something some people wouldn't think of. When you're building a rack for your aquariums, when you measure the width of your aquarium, add a ½ inch. That way, when you go to push your aquarium in, it's not skin tight. It's got a ½ inch on both sides. What heights to leave gaps from the tops of your aquariums, just things like that. And then how to add it up and make it make sense. Some people get confused when you have to add the height of the 2x4, the height of the aquarium, the height above the aquarium, and so on and so forth. Can get confusing. So I really love to jump the gun and do that video, but I don't know. I really want to get the new 125. Noodle, you are just being a handful tonight, aren't you? He is all over the place. My wife said so is the dog. Let's see. Got a little behind here. Crip says, if the giveaway is a snake, I won't be able to participate in it right away. Don't have a proper enclosure or anything that it would need to thrive. How long after the giveaway would you give us to gather what is needed for the care of the snake? I'm sure we could work out a reasonable time on that. Like, you know, obviously something like a year or a half a year would be a little too long. But, you know, if it was just like a month or two, I don't think that would be a big deal. And I think that would be the right thing to do anyway. You know, if somebody did win it and they wanted it, but they don't have reptile equipment, they're not like me and just have stuff laying around. And that's very reasonable. It's actually a good point I hadn't thought of. So I will definitely be mentioning that in the competition, or however you want, not competition, the giveaway. That, like you said, if you don't have the stuff right off the bat, that you can give somebody a little bit of time. I would say no longer than 2 months. I think that's a reasonable amount of time, you know, because you can be fancy and go all out and spend a lot of money and build a super nice enclosure, but at the end of the day, you need a heat mat and a tub, you know. So if you know, it wouldn't be, and it's going to be a baby snake, so it's going to be tiny. Bless you. So, you know, you could throw something together pretty easy, but nonetheless, heat pads ain't cheap. And, you know, doing the research and being ready for one is a whole nother thing in itself. More than likely, you know, it just depends on what produces. You know, you can't count your chickens before they hatch. So I don't know. Honestly, I don't know that I'd have any snakes, but I'm 90% sure that I'm going to have snakes. I've seen all of my snakes lock multiple times. And so I'm sure I'll have some babies, if not all of them have babies. More than likely, if those ones produce, it'll be one of the all white snakes with the blue eyes, the blue-eyed leucistic Mojave lessers. And I think they're the most likely to, because they lock up more than any of the other ones. But if for some reason they didn't produce, you know, I would pick one out of the other ones. There is a couple of combinations that I'm hoping to hit, because with snakes, it's an odds game depending on what you match up, if you get certain tops or not. So there's a couple that if I hit, I'm not going to be giving away, but that's literally only like 1 or 2 snakes, and it's not a high odds that I'm even going to hit it. Crypt Keeper says, are there any differences in care or temper of a male versus a female snake? I've heard some people say females can be more pricks. I don't know whether that's true or not. I don't personally think so. I guess, well, if I'm being honest, I will have to say the only 2 times that I've had a snake get defensive with me is with a female. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's true. It's not like I've dealt with 100 snakes, so you know that could just be random odds. But for the most part, ball pythons are super chill. The babies are more bitey, but getting bit by a baby is like getting bit by nothing, so it's not a big deal. And when the adults get older, they're usually not bitey at all, especially when you've worked with them your whole life. Crypt Keeper says, how old do they usually need to be in order to tell their sex? So you can sex them as soon as they're born, as soon as they come out the egg. There is a spot on the back of the snake. Let's see. This is going to be great content here. It's called the cloaca. It's this, if I can get trying to do this upside down and backwards. You can kind of see, let's see, let me work here. You can kind of see right there, there's like 2 little spurs and a flap. So all you do is mash down right here. There's a method to it. You don't just squeeze your snake. You have to do your research. It's called popping. And if it's a female, nothing will pop out. And if it's a male, these 2 little spurs will come out. They're called hemipenes. There is another method. You can probe them. It's a whole snake debate, so you do your own research and decide what you think is best. Some people think that it seems harmful to pop a snake. I've watched people do it multiple times over and over with no reaction from the snake, so I tend to think it's not. Some people think probing is harmless. I personally don't like the idea of sticking something inside of there, so you know, that's to each their own. Do your research, but they can be sexed right out of the egg. What's going on, Eddie? Thanks for coming to the stream, buddy. Yeah, so that's one cool thing about snakes. They can be sexed as soon as they're born. Most people will sex them multiple times just to make sure. Some people are real sticklers about it, but you can sex right when they're born. Then after their first shed, because they shed shortly after they're born, and then after their first meal. And that's kind of like 3 times. You know, if you sex it right 3 times in a row, then it probably is what it is. And some people will even go a 4th time. If they sell the snake, they'll do it one more time before they sell it, just to make sure, because you know accidents happen and you think you got it right and it wasn't. Brandon says B&T Radical Boas and Python says congratulations on your 300 subscribers, man. I need pointers. Thanks, buddy, and thanks for coming to the stream. It's good to have you here. Yeah, appreciate the congrats. You know, I don't, as far as pointers, I don't know. I think YouTube is kind of like scratch offs. Sometimes you get lucky. I'm not saying that I'm lucky. There's people that's got way more than me, but I feel blessed to have the 300. I told my wife when we first started the YouTube channel, which if y'all, I'm sure the ones here have seen where I posted that, but same thing. I said, I'm going to do a YouTube channel. I said, worst come to worst, it's, you know, just for fun. I said, in the best scenario, I said it's free advertisement. So when I start breeding snakes and breeding more fish and other things, then I have a platform and people that want my product. I mean, shouldn't call animals product, but you get my gist. And so anyway, I told her if I could get at least 100 subscribers, that I would be super excited and it would be worth every bit of the work and the time. And now here we sit at 300. So, you know, now I'm just trying to see where it'll go. I don't think I'll be YouTube famous by any means, but I think I could hit 1,000, you know, 10,000. I'm not saying I have that faith in myself yet, but maybe you start talking more than that. I haven't really thought of those kind of numbers, but I definitely think I can hit 1,000. So, you know, I'm just going to keep grinding at it and I'm excited for it. Brandon says, do you have any guinea pig babies yet? No, but any moment. I don't know if, let's see. There's our guinea pigs. I don't think I can zoom in on here, but yeah, the female is getting super plump. So it's getting to the point where I'm thinking maybe I need to separate the male soon, because she's getting pretty big. And I'm not professional like I should be. I did not write down the date I paired them together. I'm thinking it's around a month and a half-ish. So I know they usually have babies about 2 months to a little longer after getting pregnant. So any time now, it should be creeping up on us. And we're super excited about that. Crypt Keeper says, out of everything you have bred, what was your favorite project? So my wife says the rats. I can't lie. I actually really enjoy the rodents. I was saying that the other night. I don't know if that's my favorite. I can't say for the snakes because I haven't bred them or I haven't had babies yet, but I think they're going to be my favorite, hands down. Mostly all I've bred's fish from so far. My favorite one to produce is the electric blue Acara, because they're so stunning. They're beautiful. They're my favorite fish, but I don't like the process of having to pull babies and have grow out tanks. So I don't really enjoy the process of breeding them, but I enjoy having them. That makes sense. Guppies though are probably my favorite fish that I breed, just because they're easy. You throw them in, they make a million. You look at them and they're stunning, and you sit there and stare and figure out all the different colors. I will say as an honorable mention though that the rodents, I really do enjoy the rodents. It's funny. I only started breeding rodents to help with snake food because I did not want to have to go buy frozen food or live food every week and deal with the ones that didn't get eaten and so on and so forth. So I started breeding my own, and I actually really enjoy them. I like having them. I don't like cleaning them. They do stink, but you know, that's part of any animal. But I go in there sometimes and just open the drawers and sit there and pet them and look at them. I think they're cool, and there's something satisfying about it because they're a fast-paced animal. You know, they just pop them out like mad, and you can work with different colors and genetics. Like I've got 6 different looking types of rodent going on right now. They're pretty cool. So I would have to say probably the rodents is my favorite right now. I honestly would have to say I'm probably enjoying breeding those more than anything. But when the snakes produce the babies, it's gonna be over with. It'll definitely be that. It's just a little more rewarding, I feel like, because of the time frame. Michelle says the guinea pigs are her favorite. Michelle loves the guinea pigs. Let's see if I can get them to. You might be able to hear them squeaking in the background a little bit. Usually, if you crumple anything plastic, they'll squeal. Crypt Keeper says, I just got Cory cats breeding finally. I've got 1 egg out of 5 that looks like it's got a baby inside. Should hatch any moment now. That's awesome. I have not had a species only tank where I've bred them, but they are in my 210 gallon here behind me, and I've seen eggs quite a few times, but I never pick them, and the goldfish just make quick snacks of those. So, you know. But I do love Corys. They're like an invincible fish. You get those things, and a few years later, they're just still there, trumping along. Jonesing for fish. Will, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for joining the stream. He says, Cory cats are amazing when they lay eggs. They are. There's nothing like a little baby Cory popping out of nowhere, too. Super exciting. Yeah, like I said, the guppies and the electric blue cara, they're probably my favorite fish to breed. But I'm really looking forward to breeding these snakes. I think it's going to be a lot more work than what I'm anticipating. You know, when I have a possible 20 snakes, 20 baby snakes that's need to be fed every single week and using the bathroom like crazy, on top of my already 7 snakes that I own, I think it's going to be a lot more job than I anticipate. But having all those little babies is going to be super exciting. Will says, they lay everywhere, but super fun to watch them do their thing. They are. Cory cats are just cool. They have their own little quirky personalities. 1 minute, they'll be chill and just sitting there. Next thing you know, they'll just be darting all over the place. They swim on the glass. They go to the top. They just kind of do a little bit of everything. They're just cool. It's like a must need for every single community tank. You got to have some Corys in there. I've always wanted to try out the Venezuelan Corys, the solid black ones. I've looked at them quite a few times and just haven't pulled the trigger on them. They are super sweet. Let's see, Will says the pistogramma are my go-to. Pistos are super awesome. And let's see. That was just some extra chat there. Yeah. Let's see here. Just making sure I didn't miss nothing on that. There's somebody trying to text me on my phone. Let's see. We're at 29 minutes. So I usually go for about 30 minutes. 30 minutes. I'll go for about another 30 minutes. I usually keep it at about an hour. So I can't usually. I wouldn't care if I went a few minutes over, but I do try to keep it at the hour mark. Maybe in the future, if we get a little bit more popular, we'll go for an hour and a half. But tonight, like I said, I'm gonna be recording an episode with Gershon for GP Snakes afterwards. So I'll definitely have to keep it at that 9 o'clock mark. Crypt Keeper says, I like both the black and orange Venezuelas, both in my top 5 Cory list. Yes, they are super awesome. There is a ton of super cool Corys. Let's see. Oh, Will's saying he's got a few that he could give you eggs of. Oh, that'd be awesome. There you go. Crypt Keeper, you should definitely hit him up on that. Will says, any other projects going on or any locking? If you're saying locking, I'm guessing you're talking about the snakes. I do have my guy right here, Noodle, my pinstripe het pie ball python. He's in every one of my videos. He's my what is it? Mascot. There we go. Really, it's his channel, and I'm just here. But he is paired up with a banana het pod. He's locked with her 3 or 4 times. I've got a albino pod paired up with a albino het pod, and then I have a super Mojave to a super lesser. So I've got 3 pairs of snakes going. And then as far as the fish, I have a muck guppy tank, I have a shelly tank, and then I have some electric blue acara that are just now aging out and starting to try to breed. So I've got a few things going on. Oh, and I've got some redfoot tortoises that keep teasing me and digging holes, but never putting any eggs in them. So I don't know why they want to taunt me like that. Crypt Keeper sharing the link here. So go check out the East Tennessee Aquatic Association. I'm part of the board there. I'm the president. And we would love to have you come to some of our meetings. Tiny Jungle, what's going on? Welcome to the stream, buddy. Thanks for coming. Let's see. Will was saying yes to the snakes. Yeah, so I've got three sets of snakes that's blocked up for me 3 or 4 times this year. Still got a couple of months before I'm looking to see any ovulations. So, you know, it's right here at the halfway point through the pairing up, but I'm super excited for it. I can't wait. I'm ready to see some snake babies. I got my incubator ready to go. I'm going to plug it up in about a week or 2 and go ahead and start doing the testing on that. It says, any redfoots? I want one so badly. Man, I don't know what it is. I've got 2 adult females and an adult male. And the one female, the biggest female, she's dug a hole and been backed into it like 6 times. But she just will not put any eggs out. I don't know if she's just trying to tease me, if she's doing some test burrows or what. But I'm looking for eggs at any moment from her. But I don't know. She just keeps egging me on. I keep going and digging out that enclosure. He says, do you keep the turtles in a tent? I did. I used to keep them in a 4x4x6 grow tent. But I now have them in a 3 foot deep, 2.5 foot tall, 6 foot wide, or 8 foot wide enclosure that I've built. It's on the channel. You have to look around, but yeah, they've got a pretty decent size enclosure for 3 turtles. I mean, it's nothing like being outdoors, but it's winter time right now, so they've got a pretty good space. 3x8, so that's 24 square foot they've got. So not too bad. But yeah, they keep digging and teasing me. Every time I get excited, I'm like, oh, she's backed into a hole. I'm going to find eggs tomorrow. Nope, just teasing me again. But that's all right. You know, I like them whether they give me babies or not. But my wife is definitely, she wants some tiny baby turtles too, which I keep telling her we can't keep them. We have to sell them. But she's jonesing for the baby turtles. But yeah, so that's basically what I got going right now. I got the snakes paired up. I got the turtles going. And then I got 3 different types of fish breeding. Not breeding a whole lot of fish. You know, I've cut back on it. It's not a big money maker, and which I don't do it for the money anyway. But you know, that would entice me if it did make a lot of money. It would entice me to do more. But since it doesn't make a lot of money, and it is quite a bit of work, you know, I can get just as much enjoyment out of breeding a few types of fish rather than, you know, having 30 tanks going. I think the most I had at one time was like 25 or 26 tanks, and it was really enjoyable at the time. But now I've got so much going on that I just can't do that many anymore. It's just too much, and it's making me lose the enjoyment in it. So right now we keep downsizing. Right now I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're at 8 tanks. So we went from 19 tanks to 8 tanks. So we have downsized tremendously. I'm thinking this is kind of the level I want to stay around. You know, I say 5 to 10, but I don't think I really have the self-control to be down to 5. It sounds good on paper, but I know me. So it'll probably be ending up a few more than that because there's some other breeds I want to work with, but or species, I should say. But right now, I'm not that encouraged to get a lot more fish. I enjoy my fish, and I have no plans of getting rid of them, but just extending them out to having so much to care for that it's overwhelming just isn't worth it at the time. Oh, that's one thing. It's crossed my mind a few times, but I've been too busy yabbering and answering questions to get to it. But there is, I guess I'll leak. I can leak stuff on the live stream because there's not that many watchers, so the ones that see it can get the leaks. But I am really, really, really considering getting some chickens. And no, it's not because of the crazy egg prices thing. Trust me. You think you're going to make a living off selling eggs, you go right ahead and try. That's not going to work out like you think. No, I used to have chickens, and they got old, and they passed away one by one, and I just never got any more. And the other day, I went to my buddy's house, and he's got like 100 chickens. Excuse me. And I pulled in the driveway, and they all just come running over the hill at me because they think I'm somebody with food. And I instantly missed my chickens so much. And so I've been watching videos like mad about chickens. And usually anytime I watch videos, you can count on that being in the scene pretty soon. You know, there are some other farm style animals I would like to have, but I don't think it's worth it to go into all the work to have them where I live now because, you know, I own my home, but I rent the land, and I don't want to set up something that's going to be hard to tear down or just destroyed to tear down. But a chicken coop, I can build a big chicken coop in a chicken run, and I can load that on a trailer and take it with me, no problem. So getting chickens is an option right now. And I live in Tennessee, so they can be outside all year round. You know, something like goats or pigs or things like that, I'd have to build a fence for them and then tear the fence back down. That's a lot of work to do to tear down. So I don't think I'm going to be getting none of that. But you may be seeing some chickens on the channel soon. I know my channel's all over the place. I got fish, I got reptiles, I got rats, I got guinea pigs, I got spiders. I may have chickens soon. But hey, that's what I do. That's why it's Keeper Cane. Not Reptile Keeper, Fish Keeper, just Keeper Cane, because I'm keeping it all. Let's see. Let me get back to the comments here. Crib Keeper says, I want to get another breeding rack set up in the spring, going 12 to 18 tanks. 6 will be shrimp. The rest will be fish. That's a good number. I mean, like I said, I've kept up to 26, and I wouldn't want any more than that. Some people can keep 200. Some people keep 2. It's really all up to the individual. And I'm not saying shrimp are easy. They're, you know, trust me, I've killed off shrimp. Just like I have fish before, but it is, I think, a little easier to keep high quantities of them. So that would be one I wouldn't mind doing as much of. He says, want to get some, oh Lord, here we go. Xenotakus and a few Rasboras breeding out. Vibes Aquatics, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for coming to the stream. But yeah, so keep your eyes out soon for some chickens. I don't know if anybody here on my channel is into chickens, but if you're not, you might want to click past the next couple of videos when they come out, or you could just be cool and click them anyway, just because, you know, I need all the views I can get. Crip, oh, clicked the wrong button. Crip Keeper says, Kane, I've got 18 tanks so far. Want another 12 to 18. Oh, no, he says, oh, and then Bob says he's got 20 tanks. Yeah, Bob, I was just talking about I had 19 tanks and I've downsized. I'm down to 8 tanks right now. So at my one point, I think my most was 26, which I did really enjoy. But at the time, I only kept fish. Now I'm keeping mammals, I'm keeping tarantulas, I'm keeping reptiles. So I'm definitely not going to get out of the fish game ever. I'll keep a tank till I die. But I'm thinking 5 to 10 tanks for me right now is plenty. I can enjoy having fish and not have to keep up with as many. 20 tanks is a good number, though. 20 tanks gives you a lot of variety, especially if you're only keeping aquatics. That gives you enough space to dabble in a little bit of everything and have a quarantine tank and have grow out tanks. Because when you start getting into them smaller numbers, you ain't got much room for grow out tanks and things like that. But yeah, so basically that's the plans right now. The thing is, you know, I finances. I make pretty good money, but I'm not exactly loaded, so I can pick one route, one avenue. I got A, B, and C. So right now my choices are upgrade my fish, upgrade my reptiles, build a chicken coop and get some chickens. And the mature part of me says I need to upgrade my fish. Everything, not everything, but most of my fish need upgrades. You know, the electric blue Cara, there's 10 and a 40 gallon, and they're getting pretty good size. You know, I had a breeding pair, and they passed away, and I held back 10 of their babies, and now they're starting to get breeding size, so they need a bigger tank. My Shelleys, their production died off hard, so they need a bigger tank, and then the guppies will get one by default, but they could always use a bigger one. And then my turtles, my one turtle, he's getting pretty good size, so he needs one as well. So I think the most mature thing to do would be go ahead and upgrade my aquariums, then go ahead and upgrade my reptiles, then get some chickens. I'd love to do it all at once, but, you know, time and money, I don't have enough of either one of those. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I want to stay at 5 to 10 tanks. I would say a good number for me, probably 9 to 10. I think 9 to 10 is pretty good. A few of these smaller tanks I've got, I plan on getting rid of. I've got this 10-gallon shrimp tank right here. Oh, wrong side. Right here behind me. I've thought about breaking it down, and then over in my kitchen, I've got a 20-gallon long that's got some, what are they? They're the Rio Tamazula Goodeids. I don't know the scientific name right off top, but they're a sweet fish. But I thought about just putting them in the turtle tank when I get a bigger one. I mean, don't get me wrong, some of them are going to get picked off, but, you know, that's how it is in the wild. Either that or I'll sell them or donate them to a member or something of that nature. See, Bob says, my goal is to have 10 or less. See, you're like me. You're trying to downsize a little bit. And there's nothing wrong with that, you know. If you get to a point where you're not enjoying your tanks and you're having to put the minimal effort in keeping them up, then it's better to downsize and get back to where you're enjoying it. And you can put, you know, the love and time into each tank that it deserves and that you want. Because then when you sit back on the couch and you look at them, you're going to be like, this is a lot nicer. Versus having 20 and sitting back on the couch and being like, I'm so behind. And that's the way I've felt a lot here lately. One thing I really need to do, you know, I grow plants. I don't fertilize or do anything like that. No CO2, just lights and fish poop. That's it. But I need to put timers on all my tanks or something, because my tanks just get way too much light. You know, we leave for work at like 6 something in the morning, and then I get home and we go to bed at like 9 to 10. So my lights end up being on so long that it's just almost impossible to beat algae. And I really don't care about algae. I mean, it's great for fry. It's great for filtration. It's just not the most pleasing to look at. It's impossible to stay on top of. Dang, Vibe says, before Christmas, I had 30 tanks. My wife said, if I had 30 tanks, I'd be in trouble, is what she just said in the background. Yeah, that's a lot. That is definitely a lot. When I was at, like I said, I think my top was like 26. I just would count every once in a blue moon. I didn't keep a steady count. But I think my top was 26. And at that point, I was like just a little overwhelmed. Not, I don't want to say overwhelmed, because overwhelmed sounds like you're just right there on the edge. But it was a bit too much for me. Let's put it that way. I knew that I needed to be at 20 or less. At 20, I can handle it, but it's just not as enjoyable. At 5 to 10, I'm really starting to get to feel like I can relax and enjoy them a little more. Crypt Keeper says, I just have a lot of breeding projects I've been wanting to try a year ago. I only had 3 tanks, already made a huge upgrade over the past year. Yeah, you gotta upgrade as you go. You know, I went from having a lot of mixed match tanks. I think that's how everybody starts out. Let's be honest. A lot of used tanks. Then I had a few tanks blow out, or not blow out. That's a little bit extreme. But I had a few tanks leak. And then shortly after, I started replacing all my tanks with brand new tanks. Then I started building matching stands. And then I got to the point where maybe this is too much for me. But, you know, if you're wanting to breed, you got to have a lot of tanks. That's just all there is to it. If you're wanting to work on a lot of projects, you got to have a lot of tanks. But I just don't enjoy – I enjoy breeding, but not on a large scale. So Vibe says, favorite fish and tank setup. Well, that's going to be 2 different ones for me. My favorite fish is definitely going to be my electric blue Acara. You can see them right there. Electric blue Acara are hands down my favorite fish. They're not my favorite to breed because I'm a lazy breeder. I like a guppy, good-eared, you know, shelly type of fish. You throw it in a tank and it makes more. That's my kind of breeding. So I don't enjoy pulling eggs and pulling fry and grow outs. But I love electric blue Acara so much that I will deal with it for them. So they're my favorite fish. My favorite setup, definitely planted tank. I can't say that I have any tanks that I would consider a truly planted tank. I have tanks with plants in them. That's one thing I'd like to change in the future. I'd like to do some nice planted tanks. But, you know, that's what I enjoy. I think that's what most people grow to enjoy, is like a super dense plant tank. But I don't like the high-tech plants. I don't want to do CO2 and ferts and all that. I like simple things like Anubias and Crips and Buse and Val and Chainsaw, and, you know, things that you just put it in, it grows, moss. And you can still make a beautiful tank out of that. Oh, Vibe says, oh, wrong one, says, love the hat. Yeah, I got to rep my Fish Tank Mafia hat. I don't wear it very often, but just for some reason tonight, I was like, hey, I'm going to throw on the old Mafia hat, support some of the locals. Crypt Keeper sharing that link again. Thanks, buddy. So that's the East Tennessee Aquatic Association, the ETAA. If you're anybody local to the area, catch us in the replay. If you're local to Knoxville, Tennessee, or anywhere close, or even not close and you just want to drive, come on out. We'd love to have you. Free meetings, free to be a member, absolutely free. You just come on to the meetings. We have giveaways. We have good talks. The only thing that does cost is if we have a swap, and it's like $2 to get in. We have 2 of those a year. Crypt Keeper says Crips are the best. Huh. You know, I would have never thought that coming from you. Crips are the best, though. All jokes aside. I love Crips. I mean, they're just easy. They come in a bunch of different forms. They're slow growers. They got a big root system. They can thrive in low light. I love them. Mountain Greenery, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for coming to the stream. Vibes asked, Aquashella, Keystone Clash. Aquashella's probably a no. It's not so much my scene. But Keystone Clash, I've had a lot of people trying to talk me into going to Keystone Clash. I won't say a lot of people, but I've had some people trying to talk me into going. And my wife wants to go. We're considering going. It's a little pricey, and I'm a cheapskate. You know, when I figure in the cost of travel, room, tickets, money for whatever I buy on the way, and I add it all up, I'm like, man, that's a, you know, an enclosure upgrade or a new animal or something. So a lot of times I cheap out and I don't go to these events, but I would like to go and make the memories, you know, and network and meet people. So Keystone Clash is a maybe. I've heard so many good things and I haven't been. There will be what is it? What's our local event, honey? Kenny's. No.
Aquaticon.
Aquaticon. So Aquaticon is a local event to me. They've only had it once so far, but I'll definitely go to it because it's just right next doors. Vibe says, "Do I need to be there to win a gift?" I guess you're talking about the meetings. You do have to attend to win a gift. But I will say, if you come to a meeting, which I don't know where you're at, Vibes, but we usually have enough at the giveaway table that everybody leaves with something. And then there's all right, everybody that's left, go ahead and hit the table again, get what you want after we get on pulling tickets. Mountain Greenery says, what is your favorite fish? So we just said it a minute ago, but I love talking about them. So right there in the middle, the electric blue Acara. That is hands down my favorite fish. I love electric blue Acara. They have a good temperament. They're tough enough to handle with the bigger fish, but they're also gentle enough to go with community fish. They have that just a stunning, majestic glow to them when the light hits them right. It was one of my very first fish. I want to say first 5 fish I ever had. I don't know if it was the second, third, or what, but I remember when I first looked at them, I just looked surreal, just the glow off of them. So I love electric blue Acara. I don't really like breeding them, but I do it just because I love them so much. Oh, Crypt Keeper says a discount on the Clash. Or, to the end of the month. I need to check that out. Okay, and Bob's saying the same thing. Get your Keystone Clash tickets before the end of the month to get $25 off. Well, my wife's giving me the look across the room, so we might have to check that out. And by the end of the month, so that is not long because it is, what, the 29th. Man.
Wednesday's the 1st.
Huh? Wednesday's the 1st?
My birthday's the 1st.
Yeah, man. Vibe says Austin, Texas. Yeah, that's a bit of a haul, buddy. I don't know if those plane tickets are going to be enough to come get some free Val or some type of fish. Then you'd have to get it back on the plane. I don't know. That sounds like a lot of work, but we'd still love to have you. Crip says, thanks, Vibes. You got the deadline right. Dude, you should. I'm telling you, electric blue Acara are awesome. They're hands down my favorite. I love them. They just have that puppy dog personality like cichlids do when you come to the tank and they're all swimming right there, but they're not really aggressive. They can stand their own against big fish if you put them with them, but on their own, they're not aggressive. The only time I would say they are is if they're breeding, but then what fish isn't? Unless it's just a live bear, because a live bear will breed in the mouth of its predator while it's getting eaten. He says, use discount code early fish gets the worm. KeystoneClash.com. You have to check that out, honey, or write that down. She's on it right now. Sounds like I'm gonna end up going. Says it's on the top of their banner too. Bob says, does anybody need convicts? Please take them. No. I've been down that road before. Convict cichlids are awesome. I'm not down on convict cichlids, but if you want to get rid of them, not so awesome. Because usually everybody knows them don't want them because they breed so prolifically. But they are cool fish. Somebody gave me some one time. They was like, will you please take these? This has been a while ago. It's not been in the last year or so, and I was like, yeah, I don't really want them, but he's like, well, I have nowhere for them, and I was like, okay. So I put them in my tank with the mindset that I'm gonna get rid of these fish in the next week to two. And within 3 days, I had convict babies everywhere in my tank. I was like, no. So I had convicts for a while. Awesome. Crypt Keeper says, can't wait to meet me and Michelle. Us too, buddy. Vibe says, some convicts come in on a rescue, and last night they had babies. They're like the sad face at the end. That was me. Like the only time you're ever sad to get babies. They are an awesome fish. I think they're very underrated. They've got stark, beautiful colors. They just breed like mad, and they're a little aggressive, and people don't want them because they're so easy to breed. But like if you got a big tank and you don't care if it's one type of fish, and you just want to buy a few fish and get them to breed like mad and fill that tank, convicts and guppies, I tell you what, them not together. Let me go ahead and clarify that, not together, but on their own, those two fish, that's the way to go. Because let's be honest, if you got to go buy 100 fish, yeah, okay, it's going to be expensive. But if you just want to buy like 4 or 5 fish and then play the weight game, you get convicts or guppies and you will get your 100 fish. That's one thing I love about them. But if you get ready to go selling them, not so much. I mean, if you're the type that does feeders and you got some real big fish, that might work out for you. But some people can't do that, and I definitely understand if you can't. Let's see. Crip says if I had a tank available, I would. Bob says send me your address. He's about to move them convicts right on to you, buddy. Hey, they are cool fish. They're just hard to move. See, 57 minutes, guys. We're coming down to the end here. Noodle's being a goofball because I got them all spun around. Like I said, usually I wouldn't care if I go a couple minutes over, but I have to record an episode with Gershon and GP Snakes afterwards. It is not a live stream, unfortunately, but I'm sure it will be releasing before too long on his channel, and I will share that link on my community chat and on my YouTube profile. It will be snake content only, but hey, I do snake channels, we do fish channels. I got another buddy that I'm looking to do a live stream with pretty soon, so be looking out for that. And new videos coming. Yeah, thanks for coming, Vibes. Appreciate you, buddy. Appreciate you too, Crypt Keeper. So keep your eye out for a giveaway. We're going to be doing a giveaway on the channel. It's not going to be right now. It's going to be for when we hit 500 subscribers, but we're going to go ahead and do the video and tell what all you got to do. It may be a few days to a week before it gets out, but definitely keep your eye out because you don't want to miss that. Same for the replay crew. Keep your eye out for that video coming out. And there will be a new aquariums video coming out soon, possibly in the next week to 2 weeks. Probably not no longer than that. Excuse me, but probably in the next week because I got that rack sold and I've got a little bit of funds. My truck did break down and I had to fix it, so I had to spend some money, but I've still got money put up. So look out for that coming soon. Crypt Keeper's got the link here for GP Snakes. So definitely go check out his channel. It is a snake content channel, but Gershon is a cool guy and you won't be disappointed. Yeah, I think that about sums it up though. Keep your eyes out for giveaway. Keep your eyes out for new tanks. Possibly chickens in the soon future. I don't know how much longer. But got just a few seconds here. Thank you everybody for coming on the stream. I appreciate you all. Appreciate everybody that jumped in, all the commenters, all the lurkers, and all the replay crew. And as always, remember, your hobby can bring you joy, but only Jesus can bring you peace. I hope to see you guys in the next one.